Our country is Japan. Japan is located west of the Pacific Ocean in the northern hemisphere. Its capital is Tokyo. His national flag is Nisoki, also known as Hinomaru. Its language is Japanese. His land area is 145,945 square kilometers. Has a population of 126,700,000 people, and their currency is Japanese yen. This nation is remembered in the Second World War by the attack of two American bombs in the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Has the unfortunate honor of being one of the most stereotyped nations on earth. Some examples of stereotypes are: they are very kind with international tourists. If one day you have lost your way in Japan, or you decide to ask a Japanese passerby for help, you will likely encounter a friendly, kind person that will try to help you as best as they can, regardless of language barriers. This sort of behavior is exclusive to Japan. You won't find it in another Asian countries such as Taiwan, China, or all around Southeast Asia. Also, tipping is something unusual in Japan. It's considered strange and even somewhat rude. And another thing that you should not do is never give your hand when they introduce you to someone, and much less a hug. And much less if it's a woman.
Well, now we are going to talk about the communication differences in Japan. As we know, organizational culture is one of the most important elements within the company. Japan's business culture is known for having discipline, hierarchy, commitment, and for dedicating many hours of work. They are known because of these things. Number 1. Speed in decision making. In Japanese companies, decisions are going up in level for each administrative area. They are very concerned in the detail of each point and in the preparation of the documents for each decision. Number 2. Responsibility. The success or failure is seen by group, not by person. So the leadership does not depend on one person but more on the consensus of the working group. Number 3. Risk management. When an employee says he can do it 100%, it has to be 100%. 95% already have an error of 5%. That's not allowed, and one loses credibility. Number 4. Work teams and communication. Communication is one of the most important pillars within the organization, but the form of communication differs a lot in different cultures. Japanese are concerned that there is no discord in the environment and that the harmony in the office is always maintained. Negotiation styles. The Japanese style of negotiation is based on ninjensei, on conversation, behavior, and interpersonal relationships. The ninjensei concept translates as purity to humanity. Another important concept is the Date Shakai, which means living and working in a vertical society. This is one of the most important differences between the Japanese and another style of negotiation, shini, that means intuition. The typical Japanese negotiation involves the required aisatsu, formal greeting, hospitality, and the ceremonial gift that thus starts a very long meeting. This serves to establish a harmonious relationship between both parties, which is very important to them. And wa, that means keep harmony. To maintain superficial harmony, the Japanese avoid saying a direct no, using another ways of expressing their negativity. Japanese negotiators politely communicate the tatame while avoiding to offend, but with an informative tone. Now, business protocol of a country. The Japanese monarchy is the oldest in the world, approximately 660 before Christ. This explains and justifies that the Japanese have very rigid customs, and it's probably the most formal culture in the world. The treatment is very formal. People are called by their last name, preceded by Mr. or Mrs. When the person is already known, The suffix san means Lord can be used after the surname. You should never use proper names. Professional cards, meishi, are essential. To deliver them, you have to use both hands so that each thumb holds a corner of the card. No annotation should be made in them. They're very conservative in the way they dress. Dark suits, white shirts, ties with few drawers. At business meetings, you should not wear flashy clothes or casual wear unless it is fashionable.
In Japan, everything resolves around 4 points and negotiations are not the exception. Number 1. Group work is more important than the individual. Number 2. Japanese hierarchy is very important and determines the order in which it's spoken. Number 3. Punctuality. It's disrespectful to be late for an appointment. And number 4. Respect first of all and personal space. For them, first there is a neighbor before oneself. Now the protocol. Presentation makes a bow, puts his hands on his knees and says, "Nice to meet you" in Japanese or in the language of negotiation. The degree of inclination is depending on the hierarchy of the person represented. After the greeting, it's considered polite to smile and sit down. Now, some tips for travelers. Number 1. Never leave a tip. It's very offensive to leave a tip and it will often be refused. It implies that the person you are tipping doesn't earn very much. Number 2. Take off your shoes. Always look for shoes in the entrance of buildings. If you see them, be sure to remove your shoes before entering. Wearing shoes indoors, especially in home and some of business, is seen as very rude and dirty. Bowing. Bowing in Japanese society is extremely important, and the ritual is filled with rules and etiquette many travelers will not be expected to know or understand. Number 4. Don't use tissues to blow your nose in public. It's highly offensive to the Japanese. Just sneeze. Number 5. Don't smoke on the streets. If you are a smoker and visiting Japan, be aware that its most big cities you will not be allowed to smoke in the streets and could risk a pretty heavy fine if you do.
And last but not least, cover tattoos. Cover up any tattoos before visiting local swimming pools.
Thanks for watching our video. Have a great day.